Hello, N4H and H here. Just wanted you to see something. I'm listening here on the 160 meter band as a rag chew here every night. Bunch of nice fellas. And I want you to notice I'm on IPO2, which if you're not familiar with that, some radios will have this. Well, the Yaesu FTdx5000MP has it. IPO or IPO1, we think of it as meaning no preamplifier. Technically, it is a small bit of amplification, but it's optimized for the best signal-to-noise ratio. So it's very little amplification. In this radio, IPO2 is literally a bypass of any RF amplification, in your first stage of your receiver. Now, I'm also using 6 dB of attenuation. Now, why am I doing that? Let me unleash all this, and you'll see why.
The cafeteria they have there, it looks like it was closed.
Got an S9 noise level, and there's some grind in there, maybe from a power line.
Miller Light one.
But some of these guys are running 40 over. So, IPO1 knocks it down to 5, 2, knocks it down to about 2.5. Kick in 6 dB of attenuation. Oh yeah, so I had RF gain on. Let me show you there. Okay, so IPO2 is knocking it down to about 1.5. Now 6 dB of attenuation down to S0. You know me, I always try to get down to S0.
Okay.
And now I'm going to roll the RF gain back until the background noise is minimized. Now, what you may not know yet, but those of you who know this radio, if you see this light on...
Big dog of mine thinks he's a lap dog. Well, he's so big, all he get on you, half of him lays on you, the rest of it's on the ground.
That's Dennis K4NV. Wow, he's got a strong signal. Great audio. Listen to that audio.
He can't help it. He's just a puppy. A big puppy.
Digital noise reduction zone set simply at 1.
He figures this laying in the yard is his to play with. Yeah, it's fair game.
So what I wanted you to see is that even with IPO2 engaged, bypassing any amplification in the first stage of the receiver, and 6 dB of attenuation, and rolling the RF gain back. Now, I could roll the RF gain back more because Dennis is so strong, but then I would lose the weaker signal. So, turn on the digital noise reduction. This is the very first radio that I ever sat in front of with digital noise reduction that didn't sound watery. That's a setting of 1. Now, if you've been on my channel very long, you know that I teach that on the FT991, 991A, 891, and even the earlier versions of the FTdx5000MP, you had to go all the way up to 9 before you could get rid of that watery effect. But the 5000MP here never introduces any of that watery digital artifact. It just, as you continue all the way up to algorithm 15, it just knocks the noise down. The FTdx10 was the second radio that I ever saw that would be able to do that without the watery digital artifact. And now from what I understand, the updates to the FTdx101D and MP have also improved its digital noise reduction so that it functions more like the digital noise reduction in the FTdx10, and it should, because they share the similar architecture in the receiver. So let me let you listen to that a little bit now.
Yeah. Hang in there with it, man. It'll pay off, I'm sure. How much longer you got? Probably 3 or 4 years. I just started on it.
Okay, when the weaker station talks again, I'm going to disable digital noise reduction.
I
took a few classes in high school, but they didn't put much of a dent into it. I think it was only maybe 5 credits, but it was free while I was in high school, so it definitely made it cheaper for me.
Oh, sure.
So, as you know, the digital noise reduction system, it's in the DSP stage, the digital signal processor. It runs an algorithm and does some computing and separates the signal from the noise. So that is now very pleasant to listen to. Notice I haven't even engaged the squelch.
Say, get it while you can. Get it while you're young and, got the motivation for it, because as you get older, it's hard to go back and do that. That's what I'm going to try to do, is get it while I'm young.
At least. And I think electrical wasn't really enthused about it.
There we go. Squelch is set now.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed, because I would think it's a pain in the.
Oops, sorry about that,
Well,
y'all.
I'm sure as I get into higher classes, it'll become one, but for now at least.
We're not supposed to talk like that on amateur radio, but it slips out every now and then, apparently.
Number 1 dead amateur.
Well, good evening, sir. Very nice to hear you this evening. You got a tremendous signal here on the south side of Atlanta.
Well, I know, I know how to put the wires together up here at the Berghoff.
Well, I can tell that not only did you twist them together, you put a little solder on them.
Not only do I know how to put the wires together, there's iron in my words, too.
Are you barefoot, Milton?
No, I'm running 10,000 watts.
Well, the 10,000 watts is doing you fine. You're 20 over.
My Power Master 2 says 86.
Well, those are 86 real watts if your Power Master says that.
Okay, I'm going to undo all
At
this.
least 200 bird watts.
No attenuation.
Well, I don't know.
Amp 1.
Yeah, I understood all that. Well, I don't know if you'll hear Phil Shambly tonight.
No digital noise reduction.
All afternoon, and I'm worn out. I know he is.
Oh, I bet that's right. You went up there today. Did you guys make any headway?
We made headway, but it ain't operational yet.
Did you make headway in the
I'm
right
going to
direction?
re-enable all that in the order I would suggest you do it.
Well, that would be headway wouldn't necessarily mean moving in the right direction, but not. I guess it doesn't have to be. But yeah, we were moving in the right direction. We fixed the band switch.
Okay, there you go. Just thought I would share that with you. Here on the low band like this, there is just inherently a lot of noise, from atmospherics to local noise, power lines, what have you. But even in that situation, radios of today have the capability to really clean it up. So in this case, using the FTdx5000MP, but a lot of the modern radios have very similar features to do that. It just does, happen that the digital noise reduction in the FTdx5000MP and now the FTdx10 and the latest updates of the FTdx101s just do an incredible job on the digital noise reduction side. But everything else I did could be done with most any other transceiver. Now, if you don't have an IPO2, you may have to add more of the padding here, what we call padding, but attenuation. Many of the Yaesu rigs offer 6 dB, 12 dB, or 18 dB.
Do you think it's
But again, always use IPO before you go to attenuation. IPO helps out with the rejection of strong signals up and down the band. Well, I hope someone found this video helpful and informative. I do appreciate you watching, and I want to take this time to thank my Patreon supporters who help keep this channel going. You help offset the cost and justify my time. That is much appreciated. I want to do a shout out here to some of my newest Patreons, but also the my VIP Patreons. Thank you so much, guys. There's Don. I'm not going to mention your last names for privacy reasons, but you'll know who you are. Don G. He's been with me a while. Thank you, Don, as a VIP Patreon. Jeff also been supporting for quite some time as a VIP Patreon. Thank you, Jeff. That's Jeff H. And then John R. You know who you are across the big pond. Thank you so much, John, for your support in the past months. Also, Alex 22, David A., Gerald P., and my two newest VIP Patreons, Jim R. and Vince P. I do so much appreciate you guys helping me out with this, and I appreciate all my Patreons. I really do, and I try to recognize you guys from time to time, and so I wanted to do a shout out here to my VIPs and some of my newer Patreons that have joined in recent months. Matt, Mike, Lytle, and Dennis, just to name a few. I just wanted to get those names out there and let you know how much I do appreciate your support. And hey, the rest of you, if you can't join as a Patreon supporter, at least like the videos and subscribe to the channel. That helps as well. But if you can support us through the Patreon program, please consider doing that. You can go to patreon.com/N4HNH. That's patreon.com/N4HNH. And there are 3 levels of participation: associate, executive, and VIP. And the executive and VIP levels, you have some perks there for you, some downloads of information, such as I have the menu optimizations that I use for various different radios, such as the FT891, the 991A, the FTdx10, and the FTdx5000MP. And I should mention that most of the menu customizations that I cover for the FTdx10 can also be applied to the FTdx101D or FTdx101MP. So again, take advantage of those. There's a few other things up there available for you guys that join at executive or VIP level. So thanks so much for helping me out in that way. And again, if you would, subscribe to the channel. And if you do subscribe, click the bell and you'll be notified when I upload the next video. Hey, again, thanks for watching in 73 from N4HNH.